Here you can see I'm just cleaning off some of the trays. This I'm spraying is actually a hypochlorous acid, but you can spray isopropyl alcohol or any sanitizing agent that's not going to harm the mycelium. I am filling the trays. I actually suggest wearing some gloves and possibly even wetting your hands when you go to work with the brown rice, as the brown rice can be very, very sticky, and you might see that I'm sort of messing around with it on my hands for a little too long at times. So gloves can help with that. Gloves, maybe even putting a tiny bit of olive oil or something on the gloves. This can help not stick so much. Now you'll see that I'm stacking the trays in a particular way. They're going to be perpendicular to each other. So for when I stack a tray one way, I'm going to stack a tray the opposite way on it. This is so that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of each tray. You don't really have to fill the trays too high. You can simply fill them about 1 inch to 2 inches in depth. I usually just do about 1 inch. You want it just to cover the bottom. You don't want to see any of the bottom of the tray, but you also don't need to fill the tray to the brim. Here I'm going to use the rest of the rice that's left over to make some jars. Pack the rice down just very gently, and I take a paper towel and I sort of wipe some of the sticky gunk that got left on the rim of the jar. And this will just help, make sure that microbials can't survive where maybe the mycelium isn't for a while. It's not going to be on the rim of that jar. So we clean off the rim of the jar. I only really have enough for another jar, so I was going to do a bag, but I just decided to do a third jar. Another technique that I didn't go into is just doing bags instead of trays and bags or jars. You could just fill bags with rice about 1 inch or 2 in depth at the bottom of each unicorn bag, fold them over and stack them in the autoclave. I just find that it's a little bit messy. The rice likes to stick everywhere. You gotta get it off all the sides. After we're finished with the trays, we're just going to slide them into the unicorn bags. I accidentally got a little bit of rice on the bottom of this tray. Tapped it and it slid into the other tray. But as you can see, I'm going to just be stacking them the same way once the bags are in. This will help prevent some of the rice from sticking to the top of the bag. And it will happen from time to time. It's not a big deal, but you don't want the top of the bag to be super messy and hard to close. And lastly, here I am stacking these trays into the autoclave. We are finished making the substrate. We are finished with all of that part, and we're simply going to just load these into the autoclave so we can sterilize them at 15 psi for 90 minutes to 2 hours. I make sure to put that small plate at the top of the autoclave in order to ensure the bags don't expand and block any pressure safety valves. And here you'll see that I'm just loading the jars into another pressure cooker, and we're just going to run a couple of jars.